Prohibition. As a response to widespread alcohol abuse throughout the nation, the United States placed a ban on the sale and manufacturing of alcohol altogether. Although this idea backfired, as all it led to was organized crime, civil disobedience, and a resentment towards the government. Hello everyone, welcome to Top 10 History, your hub for historical lists and amazing history facts. Today we're going to look at 10 facts about Prohibition. Make sure to watch until number 1 because the number 1 fact about the obscure law might shock you. Before we begin, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on because we release a new historical top 10 list every single day. Also make sure to smash that like button. Alright, let's get right into the video. It was tried before the one that we know of. We all know about the notorious Prohibition Era that took place in the 1920s. However, what a lot of people don't know is that Prohibition had been tried before the big nationwide legislation that we all know about. In the early 1800s, religious groups such as the American Temperance Society viewed alcohol and the drunkenness that comes with it as a moral evil, and it was an evil that was ruining the country. The first time the United States saw some kind of prohibition legislation being passed was in 1851 when the state of Maine passed a statewide legislation that banned the sale of alcohol. This began to be known as Maine laws, which other states started to legislate, most of which were repealed just a couple of years later. So before the national ban on alcohol in the 1920s, there have been cries for a sober America dating almost a century back. World War I. Before the decade known as the Roaring Twenties, the 1910s featured one of the greatest wars the world has ever seen at the time. However, advocates for Prohibition used the war to their advantage in order to further state their case for banning of alcohol. They argued that instead of using the barley and wheat to make beer, these resources would be much better used making bread to feed the soldiers who were overseas. This turned out to be a success, as there were some bans on strong drinks during the war. In addition, since the United States was at war with Germany and beer is a big part of German culture, prohibitionists used xenophobia as a method of turning the public against the use of alcohol. They claimed that German brewers living in the United States were our enemies and that we should immediately stop giving them our money. As racist as it was, this argument received some amount of success. It wasn't illegal to drink during Prohibition. A common myth about the Prohibition era is that it was illegal to drink alcohol altogether, meaning if you ever took a sip of wine or whiskey, you could be arrested on the spot. This actually wasn't true and wasn't the case. The 18th Amendment, which is the legislation that enforced Prohibition, states that the manufacture, sale, and transportation of intoxicating liquors was banned. However, the amendment never said anything about the consumption of intoxicating liquors. As per the law, any amount of alcohol that was possessed by the time the law passed was still free to consume, as it wasn't illegal to have alcohol stashed away. This caused some ambitious Americans to buy out entire liquor stores and build wine cellars so they could have enough booze to last them however long the new ridiculous laws would last. If Prohibition taught anyone anything, is that any rule or law has some kind of a loophole. Some states refused to enforce it. Although Prohibition was a federal law with its own amendment being added to the Constitution itself, some states still refused to partake in the outrageous law. The amendment, along with the Volstead Act, said that the states need to individually enforce Prohibition within their own borders. However, some governors weren't crazy about the idea of Prohibition and chose not to provide the funding that was needed to enforce it. States such as Maryland and New York showed complete apathy to the new amendment and they made almost no effort to enforce the new law. This went on to teach the federal government that a law can be passed, but if no one is willing to enforce it, the law has no effect at all. Maryland Senator William Cabell Bruce once said, "National prohibition went into legal effect upward of 6 years ago." But it can be truly said that, except to a highly qualified extent, it has never gotten into practical effect at all. Number 6. Drugstores became liquor stores. Like we mentioned before, there's loopholes to almost any rule or law in existence, and many Americans were quickly finding loopholes to the new amendment as well as the Volstead Act. For example, for religious purposes, sacramental and communal wine was still permitted. Priests and rabbis were seen as a position who had access to alcohol, so suddenly many Americans were becoming priests and rabbis, and some were even selling the church wine to people behind closed doors. Another case is that drugstores were allowed to sell medicinal whiskey, which was used to treat toothaches. As a result, there was a growing trend in doctors' orders that authorized patients to buy medicinal whiskey, and many speakeasies were even disguised as pharmacies. And it was because of this the chain Walgreens grew astronomically, having only 20 locations and expanding to 500 locations throughout the country in just the 1920s alone. Number 5. Breweries and wineries. As you can imagine, Prohibition put a lot of breweries, wineries, and distilleries completely out of business since what they do, which is manufacture and sell alcohol, was now illegal nationwide. However, some of them continued to operate in secret, while others decided to use their factories to produce something else. For example, Anheuser-Busch and Yuengling used their breweries to produce ice cream. Companies such as Coors used their factories instead to produce ceramics. Other companies created near-alcohol products that could easily be made into alcohol by the consumer. An example of this was a malt syrup that could be made into beer by adding water and yeast. The same was true with winemakers, as they could sell chunks of grape concentrate that the consumer could easily ferment and turn into wine. These were very creative and clever approaches that former alcohol manufacturers were doing to stay in business. Number 4. Tainted liquor. With the disappearance of professional liquor manufacturers, the public unfortunately had to turn to amateur manufacturers in order for them to get any sort of fix at all. Many bootleggers would produce gin in their bathtubs and make at-home moonshine, both of which could easily cause health hazards as it wasn't sanitary. Not to mention that it usually tasted awful, and if the moonshine wasn't made properly, it could lead to poisoning or even blindness. The biggest mistake these amateurs made was using alcohol that was more meant for fuel and medical supplies, not meant for human consumption. As a result, more toxic chemicals were added to methyl alcohol in order to make it so they couldn't be used to brew illegal booze. It is estimated that improperly manufactured alcohol has killed about 10,000 Americans during the era of Prohibition. If anything, the 18th Amendment caused a big health hazard, which was the complete opposite of its intention. The Great Depression helped repeal Prohibition. Following the 1920s was a very difficult period in American history, as well as global history. In 1929, the stock market crashed, causing the worst economic disaster in the history of the United States. During Prohibition, all of the money that Americans were spending on black market booze was not being taxed by the government. It all went straight into the pockets of the bootleggers. It was argued that alcohol trade was one of the biggest markets in the country. However, it was all illegal, so the government was getting any benefit from it. During the Depression, it was argued that making alcohol legal and taxing it would provide the government with a healthy tax revenue, which can be used towards repairing the economy. After calling for a repeal of Prohibition, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt won the 1932 election in a landslide. Just a year after the election, Prohibition was officially repealed. The nation celebrates as a long decade of ridiculous shenanigans had finally come to an end. Prohibition successfully decreased drinking. When one thinks of the Prohibition era, they might think of Americans going crazy just to get their next hit of moonshine or whatever their preferred poison was. So you would think that Prohibition only increased the demand for alcohol. Well, according to a study by MIT, alcohol consumption actually fell by as much as 70% during the Prohibition era. A really shocking and surprising statistic. Towards the end of the Prohibition era, when everyone had enough of the stupid law, the level of drinking across the nation started to increase, but the rate of alcohol consumption was still at a significantly lower level. Even after Prohibition was repealed, the overall amount of drinking throughout the nation was significantly lower. If there was anything good to come out of the Prohibition era, it was that Americans in general were living slightly healthier lives. Prohibition still continues today. Even after the introduction of the 21st Amendment, which repealed the 18th Amendment, effectively ending the national era of Prohibition, we still see examples of Prohibition in some parts of the country today. Even before today, some states took some time to allow their residents to purchase alcohol again. Kansas remained dry until 1948, Oklahoma remained dry until 1959, and Mississippi remained dry until 1966. To this day, there are 10 states that contain dry counties, meaning that the sale of alcohol is banned while inside that county. And then there are a lot of counties that have some restriction on alcohol sales, meaning you can't purchase alcohol on certain days of the week or after certain hours. Despite Prohibition being repealed an entire century ago, there are still some spots of it left throughout the country. Did these facts shock you? Make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more amazing historical facts and much more. If you like this video, check out this next video on the 10 facts about Hitler's early life. Alright, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.